Time for a little story. I mean, if I did stupid shit, and I will tell you my story, maybe you don't have to. First time that I actually did ketamine, and I was in Berlin for I think 4 or 5 months, and the place where I was working. So every last Friday of the month, after getting our salary, we would go out with each other. So we first went to a bar, and by then I was still drinking. I was smoking weed, and well, after we were finished at the bar, half of the group left, and half of the group, I asked them, "So, what are you gonna do now?" So then they went to a club, but we went to a techno club, and it was my first time there, and oh my god, it was amazing. I was sipping my drink, I was smoking my joint, and all of a sudden my friends went to the toilet all together. So I asked them, "What are you gonna do?" So my friends were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do ketamine," and I was like, "Okay." And by that time I was quite inexperienced. I didn't have so much experience with drugs anyways back then. So I joined them because in my mind I was like, well, I'm feeling fine, I'm feeling good, why not join them? So in the toilet, I got from my friend 2 keys of Keita, and it was my first time of Keita, and I was not so smart after all. Ketamine, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, great combination. Not really. But after taking it, the first 5 minutes, they were amazing. Like, I was standing there, I was like doing this with my hands and was like, oh my god, I have different feeling from what I'm doing with my hands. And then afterwards, we walked back into the club. And at the moment that we walked back into the club itself, I all of a sudden noticed, oh my god, I cannot follow what is happening around me. And then I grabbed my colleague. I was like, please don't leave because I'm going bad. So my colleague, she pulled me to the hallway, put me on a chair there, and then all of a sudden I noticed that I started to lose my vision, so I could not see anymore. And after I lost my vision, I just started to puke everywhere. I could not see where I was puking, so after, well, quite a while later, I noticed I was puking all over myself and all over the floor there. And gladly, there were some people at the club. They brought me all the way downstairs to lay down, to chill. But the first thing that popped into my mind, like, mind me, I'm an old bartender, and the first thing that popped into my head, because it was so chaotic, I did not know what was happening, was like, okay, Mischa, if you are gonna do this, then please keep your bartender mindset a little bit and start to have experiences with the drugs without taking anything else. But at the moment, I could not make anything else of my senses. Everything was spinning. It was like being drunk 3.0. Oof. And it took me around like an hour to get my vision back. I could open my eyes again. I was super zoned out because like I could not really walk for like an hour. I could not really make sense of my own senses anymore. And then later on, I started to talk with my friends, and they were like, yeah, that was not so smart. Like, you've been drinking, you've been smoking weed, and all that combination together is definitely not something good to take. So, if you're gonna try ketamine, don't mix it with alcohol, don't mix it with weed. Being a bit ashamed of myself because, well, yeah, my outfit was all over puked and etc. And that was my first experience and my worst trip ever. After that, I never got myself in that position again. I became smarter. Now these days, like as I said, with the bartender mindset, what I did afterwards, if I wanted to try something out, and maybe this sounds a bit weird, but this is my bartender mindset, I got the drugs at home for my own, to try it out on my own, to see what it does. And slowly but steadily I got more experience, and I was able to never get myself into that situation again. So yeah, my worst trip ever. And I hope that you can learn something from it. I am always on the understanding, like already when I was younger, like I want to try out, not everything, but I wanted to try out some things. And I'm sort of happy that I had that experience, because if I hadn't had that experience, I wouldn't be so smart with taking drugs afterwards. So yeah, little story time. Hope you enjoyed it. At that moment I did not enjoy it. It gave me a good experience to be smarter with drugs. So yeah. Yeah, little story time. I'm gonna do these more often as well, so you don't have to do the stupid things that I already did. And then leave a like if you like the video, subscribe if you like the content that I'm making. And then there is nothing else to say from my side. Big hug, much love, and then I see you in the next one. Ciao ciao.